A road trip doesn't just start on the morning that you jump in the car and turn the key. It starts days in advance, weeks in advance, checking the car, checking the route, checking the paperwork, little jobs and bits of preparation that can turn what could be a stressful trip into the unknown into a really epic and enjoyable drive. After several years of driving sporty cars across Europe, I've developed a checklist and an equipment list that makes me feel confident doing a solo trip across the continent. In this video, I'm going to share that list with you. I'd love to know how you get ready for a big trip. So we'll dive into it, get this car ready for a trip to Germany. I'm David, this is Autobunker. Thank you for getting ready for my road trip with me. I'm going to shoot that seagull in a minute. Bugger off. Before I get onto the luggage for the trip, I always just check the basics on the car. Check the tyres for any cuts or scores or nicks, double check the depth, and I always put a couple of extra PSI into the tyres at the start of the journey just to try and help with the economy on the longer motorway and A-road trips right across Europe. The other absolute basics are checking the fluids, the coolant, the oil, the washer fluid, making sure that everything's ready to go and that I've got backups of those liquids with me in the car. One of the really annoying things about the Cayman is that it doesn't have a dipstick. You have to use the instrument binnacle to check the oil level. Fine when you turn it on the first time, but if you miss it and run the engine for a little bit, it takes ages for it to cycle around and do it again. The oil and coolant on the Cayman is topped up through a hatch in the rear boot. No need for oil this time, and check out my OCD in action as I struggle to get the graphics on the coolant cap lined up the same way as the oil cap. Is it just me that worries about this sort of thing? I think probably not. Job done. I like to check around the car as well, to check the lights over, check for cracks, check that the bulbs are all still working, and I must remember to dig out the beam converters that I bought for this. I've no idea where they are. When it comes to choosing what tools to bring, if I'm honest with myself, I am not going to be undertaking major roadside repairs on this car. One, because I'm not that skilled as a mechanic. Two, because the engine is hidden underneath the back and you have to get to most of it from underneath. And three, that's because we've got roadside assistance paid for to deal with that sort of thing. I will bring the basics though, to cobble things together, zip ties, duct tape, that sort of thing, and a basic set of screwdrivers and spanners, and of course the wheel brace, just to keep things moving along if it's a basic problem that needs sorting. The next stage is far less exciting, the paperwork. I like to bring hard copies of my insurance, registration and breakdown details just in case I were ever to be involved in an accident or I get stopped by the gendarmes or the Polizei. Either way, I don't want to be scratching around on my phone in no signal, desperately trying to find those key documents. I have got digital copies as well, but I always like to have a paper version in the car just in case. If you're driving in German cities, you'll need the Umweltplaket, the green sticker that shows you're compliant with the emission standards. For France, it's a similar scheme called the Crit Air sticker. I don't have one of those yet, but you can zip up and down the autoroutes without needing one. One of the things I forgot to do the last time I went to Europe in this car was install my SANEF tag so I can blast through the toll barriers without stopping and doing the dreaded take the ticket and use the credit card thing, which is a pain if you're on your own. So I'm going to get this installed behind the rear view mirror ASAP. Looking good. That should save me untold levels of faff on the French autoroutes. This Meguiar's detailing spray is so good for just getting quick bits off the windscreen, and I bring a boatload of rags with me so that I can spray down the car and clear off all the bugs that get covered over the windscreen on those long trips. I've made a list of the most essential bits of road trip kit on the Autobunker website. There's a page called Trusted Kit, and you can see details of each of the items on there and click and get hold of them for yourself if you want to. What I do like to have is a simple system for finding all my kit on the trip. The front gets used for fluids, spares, tools, bits for the car, filming equipment if I'm on a video making trip, all goes in there. And then stuff for me, food, drink, clothes, go in the rear of the car. That way I can pretty much get my hands on what I need to reasonably quickly. I always keep a paper atlas in the car just in case the sat-nav on my phone goes crazy. It's going to be a fun trip across northern France to Rheims to visit the old Grand Prix circuit, and then the next day across the border for a weekend in the Black Forest driving the legendary B500, the Black Forest High Road. I'm very conscious that my list of kit is far from comprehensive. I would love to hear from you about the must-have items for a long continental road trip. It's great to share the knowledge amongst the petrolhead community about what really helps out on those big adventures. Once everything is checked, packed, in place for the adventure ahead, that's when the anticipation really starts to build. The road starts to come off the map and roll under your wheels, and all those experiences ahead, the food, the excitement, the chatter, the conversation, the driving, all start to become a reality. And that for me is why that preparation is so important, because you can put all that to one side and truly enjoy the experience of the trip. I'm David, this is Autobunker. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video out on the road in this machine very soon.